Today we're going over a Potemkin tier list, a Potemkin matchup tier list. I'm Salvi B. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, do me a favor, subscribe. I'm trying to build this YouTube channel out. Let's get into it. Gotta say that. So Potemkin is my main, right? So if you've been watching me on Twitch and you're seeing me play Guilty Gear Strive, you know that at this point Potemkin is my main character who I play with. I have been learning Naragoriyuki, and there'll be stuff to go there. In the beginning, for like the first week or so, I was messing around with Angie. I just felt like I needed something a little different than Angie. I mean, Angie's cool, and I do plan on revisiting, but right now, Potemkin is my main because I feel good with him. I understand how to use his, I know how to use his abilities. I know when to use things. I like the amount of damage that he gives out. I play slower, right? So that I don't have to worry about dashing or anything like that. I don't have to worry about dashing and really just doing anything kind of too fast moving. It's not like I'm playing with Amelia or a Leo, right? So who are obviously faster characters. So yeah, I think I have enough experience in Potemkin, being that since the second week he has been my main. I am not, I'm an average player, right? I'm not crazy good at the game, 10th floor and less. You know, I linger around the 9th floor. I get to 10th and, you know, just trying to get better at the game, right? So this is my first Guilty Gear, but I think that this is going to be an interesting take for anybody out there trying to play Potemkin. I know there's a lot of good players out there like Fab, Snake Eyes playing Potemkin, and they're worlds above me. And so I think, you know, for people who are casual players and who want to learn a little bit more casually of how to play Potemkin, this is a casuals Potemkin matchup tier list, but it'll help people at any level, really. So we're going to be judging people based off of these four tiers. Cake, right? Easy. I'm going to beat him every time. The Potemkin Buster and done, right? You can beat him with Potemkin Buster, and then challenging, and then struggle bus. And so we're gonna go right to struggle bus because I think anybody who plays the game knows already what I'm gonna say. And Axel being the zoner that he is, if you're playing against a really good player, playing against Axel is straight struggle, right? It's a struggle and a half to play against anybody who's a good Axel. And if you're over the 6th, 8th, you know, if you're over the 8th floor, between 6th and 8th, you're not going to see too many good Axels. You'll see some decent ones, but once you get over that, if you're in 9th floor, 10th floor, you're going to see some really good Axels. And Axel in the wrong hands, or in the right hands for Axel, wrong hands for you as Potemkin, it's gonna be really hard to do. But you do, the tools that Potemkin has can help you beat an Axel if that Axel is a little too aggressive. But you need to get in, and between, you know, you gotta do Mega Fist to get in. You're gonna have to do some charging to get in. It's not easy, right? And it's not like you have a projectile, so it's a little harder. So if you're going against a Axel who is at halfway decent, it's going to be a struggle. So Axel's on the struggle bus. With that out of the way, I think it's a little less easy to see. So what we'll do is we'll go to Cake, and then Potemkin Buster and done, and then challenging, and then struggle bus, and we'll just maneuver around. And so what I'm going to do here is I just want to kind of figure out what we're going to do. Let's pick, you know, let's go with Gold Lewis, right? He's the talk of the town right now. So I have been playing a lot of different Gold Lewises out there, and Gold Lewis is relatively new, right? He's not out that long, but there are people who are starting to really play really good with Gold. So that said, there's a couple things you got to remember, and really Gold Lewis wants you to attack him, and then he also wants to charge at you. Considering he has the distance, I mean, unless he's using the Gatling gun, because he has to have that charge up anyway, his chip damage is going to be the main thing you got to look out for, is that Gatling gun and the chip damage against Potemkin. But when you're talking about Behemoth Typhoon, I'm not worried about it as a Potemkin main. It's something I have to keep in my mind, but it's not going to stop me from attacking. Right, there are other ways I can get in, such as Garuda Impact. I could do a Mega Fist in. Now Mega Fist is easily countered by pretty much 3 or 4 of the various Behemoth Typhoons. So yeah, but after that, he's not that hard because his goal, Gold Lewis's goal, is to get in, or for you to get in, one of the two. As Potemkin main, I kind of just hang out and just wait. So what I'm gonna say is, when I take somebody like Gold Lewis and I do this tier list for Potemkin and matchups, I have to say that Gold Lewis is Potemkin Buster and done. We got Yurkin in the building. Thank you for hanging out, Yurkin, in chat. I'm doing right now a Potemkin matchup tier list. So you were here for me talking about Gold Lewis, and now we're talking about the next guy or girl. So as I continue to talk about it, I want to talk a little bit about somebody who should be a cakewalk, or at least has been a cakewalk for me with Potemkin. And this person is May. Now, listen, I know people say what they want about Totsugeki and all the various things that May does, but for me, for my experience and the people that are playing May, you have to worry more about her supers and that damn anchor than anything. But as long as you're not aggressive, let her Totsugeki across the screen, block, uppercut, grab, explode, repeat, knock her down, get in on her, and then you can easily grab the Potemkin Buster and call it a day. Garuda Impact will stop Totsugeki every time if performed correctly. You could even do the DFB, that little flick, right? Flick that Totsugeki, that dolphin, right in the freaking nose. Just flick in the nose. Easy for me. We got exactly from Yurkin. It's just been cake. It's been cake for me with May. And again, not a pro player level, right? Under floor 10, but that's what I'm experiencing as a Potemkin main. Another one that I haven't really seen much issues with, but not cake, a little more than cake, is I've been seeing some issues playing against Kai. So Kai has been really, if you're playing against a rush down Kai who understands the moves that Kai needs to do, you can experience some problems, right? But it's when that rush down Kai starts to do too many projectiles, flick it right back, then you can get in on them, charge, attack. Garuda Impact really works against the Kai, especially if they're attacking a lot. But really with Kai, you just want to worry about the normals and any reversals you can do, counters, counter when you're playing against Kai. So for Kai, I think Mega Fist is a really good move against Kai as well, because they like to move around quickly, like to jump around. So you can counter that. But if you go against a really good Kai who's really good at rushing down, you could face a problem. So with that said, I do want to put Kai in challenging. If you're playing with Potemkin, Kai is challenging. That's definitely, to say the least. So going forward from that, another character who I think is challenging, if we stay in the challenging range, has been, for me, has been definitely, I would say, a challenge, and that's Soul. So now, Soul is not struggle bus material. The level of good Soul players is starting to go backwards. There's not that many good Souls out there. What do you mean the Mayo matchup? Oh, Nago. We'll do the Nago next. So Soul has been challenging. We'll have some interaction here. So Yurkin, as I go through, when I start doing somebody, give me the next person in line. So that's a cool way to do it. But as for Soul, now I admit Soul I don't think so. Soul is broken with the damage output and the frames on startup for most of his moves, but after that, pretty much 80% of Souls play exactly the same way. They want to rush you, they want to attack you. If you're good at blocking, and I'm assuming that you're playing with Potemkin, so you are good at defense and you're very good defensively, Soul is not that much of a problem. There's a lot of things you can do with Soul, but the main thing I like to do with the Soul, knock them down, and as they wake up, I'd like to hit them with my super. That's really good. So the super for Potemkin, not the Heavenly Potemkin Buster, but you can have somebody run right into you, explode them on the shield, and you're good. You can knock a Soul down, go right into a Potemkin Buster, and you win. So again, Souls don't, I'm not afraid of Soul when I play with Potemkin, so they're challenging because Soul is so damn good. But if Soul wasn't putting out the amount of damage that has been what they're doing, to be honest with you, I don't really see a problem with playing against a decently played Soul. Going forward, we said Nago, right? Is that what we said? Let me look at chat. Yeah, we said Nago. Okay, so Nagoriyuki. All right, so Nagoriyuki. Yurkin is a very good Nagoriyuki. So if you're watching my streams on Twitch, very good player, understanding. The thing that I find the most difficult about Nagoriyuki is his ability to poke when he's playing against the right person. I don't think that it is a cakewalk to play against Nago. I also don't think it's struggle busting. Even a really good Nagoriyuki is going to make mistakes. The Blood Rage is one thing that is not going to help out that Nagoriyuki that you're playing against. But there are some good Nagoriyuki starting to spawn up here and there. Yurkin is probably the best one that I've played against, but there are other good ones out there I'm watching on YouTube and noticing, and I'm like, that's going to be a problem as a Potemkin matchup. And that's kind of why I actually took Nago as my secondary character. But that's besides the point. Point is when you're playing with Potemkin, you have to really know all your moves, but the key against a Nagoriyuki is a backwards Mega Fist. A backwards Mega Fist is going to own a Nagoriyuki. One thing I also noticed too about Nagoriyuki is a Potemkin Buster against Nagoriyuki, for whatever reason, it doesn't work all the time. You whiff a lot, and that could be because they're Fukio backwards, Fukio forwards. There's nothing there. It's really hard to play against an Nagoriyuki who knows what they're doing. So for that reason, I'm going to put Nagoriyuki in challenging as well. You agree with what I'm saying? Thank you, Eric, and I appreciate it. But you know, there's a lot of good people out there playing Nagoriyuki now, and I haven't really bumped into too many of them because a lot of them just are too aggressive. And so with Potemkin, the worst thing you could do is be too aggressive. That said, let's go into the next person that I have seen popping up with aggression, but I have not had a single issue with this character. There's a certain character in Guilty Gear Strive that is a very fast moving character who gives a lot of damage, and at the same time their aggression due to the moveset creates a lot of problems for them and not for Potemkin. One of the easier matchups for Potemkin, as long as you know what you're doing and as long as the other person you're playing is really aggressive, is Giovanna. Yurkin, you can put in the next person who you think I should review. So Giovanna has so many moves that are fast, but in between the moves, in between an attempted combo that's blocked, you can literally do anything against Giovanna, including Garuda Impact, including Potemkin Buster. You can really own a Giovanna, and the best thing you can do against Giovanna is just use your normals. Just use your normals, and you can really take out any Giovanna out there, especially if they're aggressive. Giovanna does not scare me as a Potemkin main. Next one coming out, we got Ramlethal Valentine. Now, Ramlethal is definitely not a Potemkin Buster and done, and definitely not cake. So this is a hard one. Ramlethal, playing as Ramlethal, you gotta watch out for the swords that explode. As a Potemkin main, we find ourselves against the wall a lot and needing to fight out of the wall. And because Ram has those swords that connect to the wall and then explode, they're forcing us out. We need to get out as quickly as possible. That's why we would actually do a 6k. It was 6k to get out of the wall, right? So we would just punch and he kind of just rams himself forwards, just get you out of the corner. But you are going to take that damage, so you have to really see when that's coming. Actually, Potemkin Buster is a really good way to avoid the low sword, although the high sword's coming right after it, so not easy. Ram for me, and then they have the poke swing on the what is that, the 6 heavy slash. You know what? Yeah, I have problems against Rams until they lose the swords. You have to play aggressive against a Ram. So when I play with Potemkin, I look at Ramlethal, and to be honest with you, I do play a Ramlethal with a lot of aggression. Actually, I play a Ramlethal with a lot of aggression. It's Struggle Bus? No, it's not Struggle Bus. It's not. Ram is challenging. Ram is definitely challenging. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Ram's a good one. That's a good one. That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a good one. So next on the list, we'll go with my Ram against my Nago sometimes struggle. Yeah, exactly. It's the same struggle. Ramlethal has some good matchups. But you know what? Let's take this one light. Let's do the next one. We're gonna talk about cake. We're gonna talk about all of our cake that we like to eat. This next character, who's a cakewalk for Potemkin, is because this character plays from neutral, I should say. They play from neutral a little too often. And so who I think is a cakewalk for Potemkin, Ino. Ino, to me, playing as a Potemkin main. Ino is not, to me, not, I don't worry. I see Ino come. I know they're trying to stroke that big tree, and when that stroke is coming through, I just do a backwards mega fist and just get myself out of the situation. I'm not scared of Ino at all. Projectile, no projectile. The thing is, she's got to fly across the screen to get to me, and when she's flying across the screen, she's either getting grabbed with the knuckle buster, or I think that's what it's called, the knuckle buster. I'm terrible with move names. Boom, done. Heavenly Potemkin Buster gets you out of a situation too with Ino. Not worried about Ino. Ino does not scare me. Ino is cake for Potemkin as a Potemkin matchup. Next on the list, we'll go with Struggle Bus. So one character who I just completely struggle against, especially in the wrong hands. Character's real hard to play against. Leo. Dude, Leo is so freaking fast, and the recovery rate on Leo is so quick. Leos are a problem for me. I have such a problem playing against Leos as Potemkin. I have, like, you gotta really just a standing at strike. It's, what are you gonna do? That's a horrible matchup with the amount of speed, output, and health that Leo has. So Leo's a struggle bus. Chip. All right. So as for Chip is fast moving, and if Chip was as strong as Leo, Chip would be struggle bus. But he's not. He's not. When I play with Potemkin and I play against the Chip, I know that I just have to block and wait and play patiently and defensively. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. But the chips that I have seen are not the best chips in the world. So again, this is more of like a casual Potemkin matchup tier list. But Chip, to me, how I've been playing against chips, with the way I've been playing against chips, they're challenging. They are challenging. What's up, Ghost Assassin? Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. So Chip is definitely challenging. All right, next we'll go with Potemkin Buster and Done. This next character is Potemkin Buster and Done. I never have a problem with this next character. How is Leo a struggle? Gonna have to watch the video, Kai. I can't keep going. I can't go backwards right now. So I'll talk about it when we're done recording. So the next character who has been Potemkin Buster and Done, one that I'm not crazy scared of, one that I have really just taken care of, no problem, has been Angie. I tried to play Angie in the beginning of this game, really wanted to main him. he's got the 2P, right? The 2P is good. He can grab you. He's trying to do a bunch of different things, but to me, fusion is just not enough for Garuda Impact. It's not enough for my backwards Potemkin. My backwards Mega Fist. So Angie is definitely Potemkin Buster and done. Just get in, grab him, call it a day. That's what I think. So what I'm looking at next, and I'm really thinking about it, a character who actually, you know what? When I'm looking at these three, I don't even need to, I'm not going to create suspense here. Maybe shoot myself in the foot, but you know, honestly, this next character, Potemkin Buster and done, to me, I don't know, it sounds crazy. And I understand the speed at which they're attacking, but Faust, I'm not worried about Faust. I mean, the main thing a Faust wants to do nowadays is jump up in the sky and just rain the bombs. Flick it away as it comes. There's so many things that it's just, Faust just doesn't really scare me. I'm not really intimidated when I see one. I just know I gotta get in, grab, call it a day. Potemkin Buster and done. All right. Now, Struggle Bus. One of the biggest struggles as a Potemkin main is one of these two characters. And the other one is a challenge. Unless you're playing against somebody who's really good, then it's a struggle. But the character we're going to talk about right now, Millia. Now, I don't care what anybody says. If you see somebody playing Millia, they're good. They're just good. I don't care. Millia mains, no matter what, Millia mains are good. Okay? If somebody's playing Millia, they're good. Unless they're just learning, right? But if you know how to, if you're playing against somebody who does combos and they do them well, Millia is a problem for Potemkin. Crack Monster. You're exactly right there, Jurgen. Crack Monster. Millia is so fast and tries to hit so many combos, and it's got so many different ways to get in and so many ways to hit you while you're waking up. Potemkin is slow. Struggle. But number one struggle is Axel. But Millia's number 3 struggle on this. I'm picking them according to the way that I came in with the plan. This is the plan. Millia's a problem, especially against somebody who really understands how to use Millia. Now that leaves Zato. Zato's interesting because he's a character who, before the game started, I was like, he looks cool. I think I can play well with him. And then I saw how many things you could do with him. And Lord Knight actually just came out with a video where his potential is uncapped. I'm one day going to play with Zato to really figure him out. That might not be today. I'm still learning the mechanics of the game. If you're playing against a good Zato, he's Struggle Bus. But most good Zatos are not. They're few and far in between, and that's why Zato is just challenging. He's got ways to keep you out. He's got ways to be a poke character. But the thing is, he's one of the most interesting characters. He's one of the most interesting zoners because at the snap of a fingers, Zato will go from zoner to rush down, attacking craziness. Facts. Without a doubt. And that's a problem. We're gonna download the image real quick. Download it. Alright, we got it downloaded. That's for the thumbnail. Zato's a problem. But guys, listen, I appreciate you guys taking the time. We've been here for 25 minutes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/SalvyB. If you made it this far, pineapple juice. That's what you gotta put. The safe word is pineapple juice for today. Put it down in the comments below. That's how I know you got this far in the YouTube video. And don't forget to check out my Discord. Links in the description below. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for hanging out on Twitch. And for everybody on YouTube, go watch another one of my videos.